you ready for the fight?
Ladies and gentlemen, IFSC World Cup Wujiang 2023.
让我们看到今天来自一群女子，难度决赛选手已经登场，他们现在正在进行的是线路观察。
是的 ，now it's the observation time for the lead final.
是的，上场马上到过境赛的运动员，在观看线路的时候，你只
IFSC World Cup, and not just a World Cup, the final World Cup of the season. My name is Matt Groom, and I'm joined for the final time in a World Cup by Alana Yip in the commentary box. Alana, I've just had to take you away from hordes of fans in this arena. You are a star in China.
Yeah, it was crazy. I must have signed and taken photos with like 50 people.
It's amazing.
It was really nice to see so many people that came all the way out to Wujiang for this World Cup. I met a lot of people who have come from Toronto, Vancouver. Lots of people who are Canadian Chinese.
Well, the fans are out in force, as we can see there on the screen. And the routes that the athletes had ahead of them are, well, they're very, very difficult. A definite step up from the semi-finals. The men's route on the right of your screen there, on the huge lead wall that is a permanent structure in this new stadium. And as you can see, it winds its way from the left, and the beginning especially, no feet down low, physical campus Gaston-style moves, and a lot of them before the first clip. Then it progresses up to the green holds, out right to the orange, where things get even more complicated as the athletes do toe hooks, hand shenanigans, all types of things before heading into the head wall. And then the women's route, more bouldery than endurance-y, and very difficult through the black section, as you can see. Well, every time we've had a broadcast here, there's been one of these light shows, so I'm going to be quiet for a sec and let you guys enjoy the show. Well, I think the light show itself has been delayed slightly, but the DJ certainly is having a good time out there. It seems like every time the camera turns on that man, he ramps up the tunes. And Alana, this stadium, I mean, we both spent quite a lot of time in here over the last couple of days, but the main audience are in those blue seats, VIP seats down the front. And I was told by my co-commentator the other day that the athlete area especially is nice being that close to the wall, that you guys can really see the action. Yeah,
it's great. It's really big. Also, sometimes the athlete area isn't even big enough for all of the athletes, but it's great. It's a kind of perfect setup for us.
And how different is it? Because people watching this broadcast will remember 2019, the last World Cup. It was an outside venue
in Xiamen.
In Xiamen, yeah. But being in an indoor venue like this, people have been saying it feels a bit like Bern in a way, because all eyes seem to be focused on the wall, and it's a really sort of intense environment to go climbing in.
Yes, it does seem like the being in the gym environment, in the stadium, environment, does make it like the tension is higher. Yeah,
it's exciting, isn't it? Well, look, here is the light show, so now I'm going to be quiet and let you guys enjoy this because this is quite spectacular. Well, there is our top 8. Yoshiyuki Ogata qualifying in last position and Sorato Anraku in the first spot. He drew with Taisai Homa, and he drew with them in the qualies as well, so that could be interesting if they draw again in the finals. Lots of Japanese athletes in there. Not so many Chinese athletes, but of course we saw many, many Chinese athletes on the podium in speed yesterday.
Yes, that was exciting.
It was indeed. We got one Chinese athlete for the women, of course, Yuntang Zhang, qualifying in second place, but Ai Mori, all eyes will be on her, and Natsuki Tani, who had a brilliant round yesterday for the semi-finals. But that bouldery sequence is perhaps not necessarily suiting their style, and there is a committing jump down low for the women, so that's going to test someone like Natsuki Tani, who doesn't love a committing jump off the ground.
Yes, yeah, that'll be interesting. Having the finals route be different style is always exciting. I think it's really good for the just competition in general, but it definitely shakes things up.
It does, yeah. Well, the athletes now being introduced. Manuel Healy first of all. Yuntang Zhang runs on.
So excited to see her make finals at her home World Cup.
It's brilliant, isn't it? The crowd when she qualified was amazing.
Yeah.
And Miho Nanaka, a big smile on her face as she runs out. Good to see her back in the finals as well. So big Japanese presence as Miho stands. And people wondering where Yanya Gambara is. She's taking a well-deserved break right now from World Cups for a while. Futaba Ito also runs on.
I think she's earned it.
I think she has a little bit. I was amazed she was in copper, but I don't. If she's missed that, she would have been in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that copper was a choice for her.
No, exactly. Now, Jessie Pilz is another one coming to here because she's got an eye on the overall title.
Yes.
She could possibly win this here tonight.
Yeah, I think it's fairly wrapped up as now that she made finals. But
Yeah,
you know what? I haven't done the math on
It's
that,
the math
so-
is complicated, but Yanya's
So
currently
sorry.
on the top spot because she's not here, and I don't think that's on the top priority for her. But yeah, Jessie certainly won for that overall title. And there is Natsuki Tani. We mentioned her earlier.
So Jessie is actually on the top spot.
Oh, there we go. So Jessie has won it. So her mission to come here paid off.
Well, Vita is not that far behind. Neither is Jane Kim or Natsuki Tani or Ai Mori.
So it is all to play for them for the women. And Vita Lucan as well was looking pretty good, but she's not made the finals, so
yes,
she
of
won't be in
course.
for that one.
Yeah.
So the women leave the stage. The men will be up next. And there's some pretty spectacular stats that we'll be dropping in as we go. But do remember, for the men, Sorato Anraku, he's wrapped up the boulder overall win and the lead overall win. And if he wins, this will be his third World Cup win from 6 starts. So he's on a 50% winning streak, which is pretty special from Sorato.
For a 16-year-old especially, for anybody, but for someone in their very first year of eligibility of IFSC, that's incredible.
Yeah, I said to the setter when I was reading the route with him, look, do you sort of consider Sorato in this when you're working out how hard the route is? And he said, look, he's just in a different kind of form right now. You know, of course he can make mistakes, but you can't set a route necessarily for his form because everyone else might suffer. And it's difficult when an athlete is just so good like he is at the moment.
Yeah.
But the pressure can tell, of course, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Seems like the World Championships, he definitely felt the pressure a bit and suffered because of it. So we'll see what he does here.
Absolutely. Well, we're about to hear the men, or see the men. They come on from the right where that archway is lit up on the side of your screen.
I quite like that lit up archway. It's exciting.
It's really cool, isn't it? I think they should bring that to every event.
Yes.
It's really cool. And I like the way the athletes are sort of framed in that space as well when
Yes.
they're waiting.
And it's dark all around it. It's cool.
Yeah, very dramatic. And the speed wall is in the darkness. That was in action the other day, so you can go and watch the speed finals. That's around. And of course, the qualifying highlights, the semi-final highlights, and the speed final highlights are all available on YouTube. And there's a really good interview with Alexandra Miroslav on there. We talked to her about winning the Olympic ticket in Rome last week, and it's really lovely to hear her change in perspective. She's a bit more relaxed than she's been in past competitions. Well, Alana, this is the women's route. So your initial impressions of this route, as we said at the beginning, a bit more bouldery.
Yeah, definitely, and more complex through this kind of black section, and then just gets hard at the top. Those orange holds are not good.
And the head wall is interesting because it's smaller than normal. Because
Yes.
there's such a big overhanging roof. I don't know what to call it. A roof? The middle part, the middle panel
just
of
the
the wall.
overhanging section, I guess, the middle.
Because that's massive, but then the head wall a bit shorter.
Yes. Which should get the athletes more tired before they get onto the head wall, which is interesting. Yeah, it's nice to have something, it's a little bit of a different wall than normal. I know it doesn't really look that way, but the proportions are a bit different, which can lead to different pacing for the athletes, different pacing of the route. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange one to look at because often the walls have big volumes on them or something to make it appear more 3D. But with this one, it's just a slab of wall.
Yeah.
And although that gives the route setters lots of choice, sometimes having those volumes, they have to create the 3D nature of the wall with the routes they set. So it does give them a bit of an extra challenge for sure. Okay, Manon Healy is waiting in the wings. And she runs on now.
Looks very excited.
She does. It's a long run, this as well.
Yeah. I have to say, walking out on that, it's quite hard ground to get out to the wall. My feet were hurting in my climbing shoes. It just felt like such a Gumby. Maybe I shouldn't be walking in my climbing shoes. I don't know.
That's tricky. Then you've got to put them on the mats, and it's
Yeah.
a whole thing, isn't it? Maybe you should do that thing where you kind of slip the heel off and like flip-flop your way on.
Yeah, and then you destroy the heel of your shoe. I don't like doing that.
No, that's true. Crocs, maybe? I don't know. We'll work it out. Send us your comments.
What if you forget to take them off before you climb? I've seen it happen before.
Someone's climbed in their Crocs.
Not Crocs, but some sort of overshoes.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, but they had to take them off on the first hold or something.
All right, well, Manon Healy is underway. And it's not too bad for the women down low. The climbing starts really at the end of this yellow and black section, but Manon is taking her time, being precise with it. And nice shots there of those small edges and crimps. I got the bus in with Manon to this event, and she did seem quite nervous on the bus. Very, very quiet. Focused, of course, but I think she kind of needs to climb her way into this route at the moment. She locks in the heel, reaches up above her head into that undercling, and then she'll start a little traverse over to the left.
Yeah, this move looks interesting with the toe hook, and then this hold and the next hold look pretty bad, and you have to kind of swing your feet across.
Yeah, and that toe is lots of body tension required, and Manon is sort of taking her time to figure out these sequences. And there is the clock on the screen, 4 minutes 50 left out of the 6 minutes she has available. And now, really, this is where the climbing starts. So Manon will have to step things up here a little bit as she reaches the score of 14.
Yeah, it seems like the first yellow bit, maybe it's not quite as physically hard, but just designed to make all the athletes a little bit uncomfortable.
That move she just did, by the way, was the jump I was talking about, which Manon didn't jump into it. But it is a kind of a fall over to the right. You cross the right hand over, and it could be more dynamic. If you're smaller, she falls.
I thought that was a foothold.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's me, but Manon just didn't quite seem settled at any point during that run. You know, there wasn't...
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
That is, isn't it? She looking back up at where she fell. But I don't know, yeah, to me, she was just a bit hesitant.
Yes.
Which, of course, you don't want to fall off, but look, she didn't have the reach over. Look down at her fingers, and a big shake of her head from Manon Healy. So that is an early first fall on the women's route. Manon will undo that rope and be go and get her glasses that she always places at the bottom of the wall.
Oh, yeah, that was really unfortunate. I was wrong. That wasn't a foot. I'm looking at the route topo map right now, but...
She just didn't quite have the reach. And I was trying to see if there's a tick mark there, and I couldn't see one in that shot. I might be wrong, but I'll have another look.
It doesn't look like there is one. I don't think there's a jib on that hold or a box on that hold. I think she had a high left heel, which really blocked her body, stopped it from going to the right. And she needed that reach to the right. I think she could have dropped her feet back down to one of those kind of yellow large cheetah holds.
Yeah, well, certainly a bit of a mistake for Manon Healy. Well, we'll see. We don't know. First athlete out. I mean, it might just be a really hard route, and that could be the crux of it. We'll wait and see.
Yeah. But it's still unfortunate for Manon to have fallen it.
Yeah, and she looked disappointed. So next up, though, is Yutong Zhang from China. She enters the stage. No podium. Yeah. One podium for her, but no wins. So
yeah, she was climbed in a lot of finals in 2019 and has sort of struggled post-COVID. So it's great to see her back in finals. She's sort of been incrementally moving up the ranking this year, comp to comp. She's been working really hard. So it's great to see.
Yeah, and you're right about the COVID situation, because obviously, I mean, this is the first time the IFSC has been back since 2019, so 4 years. And although it was scheduled in the competitions, it was never really going to happen, so it's good to be back. But yeah, the Chinese athletes, some of them a little bit untested, and certainly haven't climbed in front of their home crowd for a while. Well, Yutong is off the ground, underway, and a bit more positive than Manon Healy was through here. It's just a case of committing to these sequences, but now she pauses as well.
Yeah, she's pretty stretched out there. Yeah. I don't know what Manon did. I guess get your left foot out to the left on that arrow-shaped volume.
Spotter there being very diligent and not quite sure what would happen. But now I think she might have a left foot in her, but she's still stretched out.
Yeah, just a bit of a commitment here.
Well, perhaps more difficult than we were led to believe at the beginning of this route. she's through that initial hesitation. Gets the clip in nice and early. Takes a moment to rest on that right heel as we come up to the 4:40, so a minute 20 to get to the third clip.
Yeah, Manon was also slow, but not a little bit faster than Yotong.
Well, she hits the slope with the left hand, gets the toe in and leans backwards. Tension required here. You need to trust that toe. She hits the flatty. And that long quick draw hanging down. And it's again, she touches multiple holds here. Just not settling in early on.
Yeah, I can imagine it must be very nerve-wracking to climb in your first finals in many years and in front of your home crowd.
Well, she gets those feet swung across.
Very strong from her.
And has a bicycle in underneath, so the right toe is pressing. Not really, well, kind of a bicycle, half bicycle. The left foot pressing down on the hold. But this is nearing the area where Manon fell here. So Manon hit the left hand and then bumped all the way out right. So she gets the left.
Oh yeah, also no jump required.
Yes.
That was a nice drop knee, but I think, see, Manon's problem here was that she dropped her right foot off and brought her body up and further to the left. So when she had much further to go when she moved back to the right off of a bad hold. That left hold above Yotong's left heel is quite bad.
Well, I'm glad she's through there. I was
same.
happy that wasn't some kind of awful stopper move. Well, for here on, there is no real pauses available. There's a blocker, that green hold, just preventing the athletes getting their fingers all the way back. Possibly a foot later on as well.
Makes it more awkward to match too, eh? Oh,
Yeah,
she's going to grab that
She's going to
blocker.
grab it, why not? I think, it's possible to do it. It just makes the edges, you can see her fingers crimping it more than
Yeah.
guppying it. And now she drops onto the biggest part of it. And big moves needed here, and 2.5 minutes only left. We're not quite halfway yet. So she had the double toes in for a sec, bumps the left hand up towards the crimps. Out again, she's going here, that right hand is slipping.
Oh,
Well, there was a tick mark there, there is a jib on that underside.
very faint tick mark, yeah.
Well, 21 is our new high point. But again, nervy start for this women's competition. I was expecting the athletes to come out and flow through that bottom section and then get really involved in the black holes, but I'm nervous now watching this.
Yeah. It definitely takes some consideration climbing through that yellow and black section at the bottom.
Yeah, it's interesting pacing so far. Well, we'll wait and see. And the setters, one thing they wanted to improve from the semi-final was the separation, because we did see lots of athletes falling in the same place.
Yeah.
And that's something that they said it to me specifically, that separation was the main goal in this, and top's kind of secondary almost. So I'm expecting hard routes for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that archway is lit up, and I can just see someone moving in there as the next athlete gets ready and prepares. It's Miho Nanaka who will be out next. So expect a big cheer. There she is. And there's an interesting tension now in the stadium. First time the Chinese organization here has sold tickets for this event. So everyone was a bit nervous to see if people would come, and they have come.
Yes.
There's thousands of people here.
Was it fully sold out?
I haven't seen the exact figures of it,
Okay.
so I'm not too sure. But certainly from those shots, it looked pretty sold out. Maybe not in semi-finals, but finals.
Finals, like when we just walked through the venue before coming to the commentary box, it looked pretty full in there.
Yeah, it did. All right, well, Miho blows in her fingers. She pulls off the ground and gets going. I'm so interested to see if anyone does this more confidently down low, or if it is just a case that you have to be careful here. So she works her feet up, and this is the moment that Zhang started to pause. It was this move, Miho straight away with the left hand, with left foot up.
Yeah, see, Miho's taller and could get her thumb wrapped around on the thumb catch in that right hand, which makes a big difference to be able to pull up with the right arm.
Instead of just with the crimping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're very right. Yeah, Miho confidently up towards the sloper. Well, this is a bit more like I was expecting, so thank you, Miho, for settling my nerves, certainly.
I mean, oh, this is a new sequence.
Yeah,
Okay.
I say this. Why do I say these things?
Yeah.
Come on. She hits the crimp. Drops down
There we
nicely.
go.
There we go. Okay, right.
Whew.
It's possible. Thank goodness for that. She's got that left foot on the jib, right underneath, and then does the foot match and swap. And a bit of a drop knee to come into that black volume. And a match. Miho's having to fight here as well. Oh, she's struggling. That right arm is shaking.
Ooh.
And a high toe. That's not going to be the best position here.
Oh, she makes it work, though.
Yeah, drops down
was
underneath her foot.
Very cool. Kind of like the high toe and then pulling her hand into match.
Yeah, I'm not convinced she sort of planned it quite like that, but she figured it out.
Yeah, that didn't seem like something. It's something that she was feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
That's what she was. How she figured that one out.
Those toes are right above her head. Well, she's into the blocked move now. And you can see that left hand trying to feel for it, but it does get way, way smaller because of it.
She looks, yeah, quite tired. I think she's not able to rest on that little crimp.
That left hand fired off there. And now look, this is in every athlete is looking at their hands. And I wasn't particularly cold in that stadium, but I was running around like an idiot trying to get loads of stuff done. So I don't quite know the conditions, but it could be humid in there with this amount of people.
Oh, it's definitely humid in there. I mean, it's super humid outside.
Because look, straight away, look, and I know Miho suffers with bad skin as well. She always looks down, but third athlete in the row to immediately look at her hands is maybe an indication.
Yeah.
Well, early falls here. If you're just joining us, my name is Matt Groom. I'm joined by Alana Yip in the commentary box, and we're here for the final World Cup of the year. That doesn't mean the climbing stops, though. We have continental qualifiers coming up over the next couple of weeks. Pan Am's is next, followed by Laval. And then, I can't remember the schedule, Jakarta for the Asian qualifiers, and then Africa and Oceania after that. So all the way up to about mid-December, you will get some form of competition climbing. And Alana, of course, you will be, well, did you? You've made Pan Am's, right?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay.
Yep.
That would have been putting my foot in it if I got that one wrong. So,
Ooh, yeah, I'm done, Matt. No.
Yeah,
No, I'm going to Santiago Pan Am's. Oh, no. You can say it as just one word, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Pantiago.
Pantiago, there we go. Yeah, new name. Well, look, we'll chat about that in a sec because I want to hear your opinions on the Pan Am's. But Futaba Ito right now walks confidently out on the stage.
Jogs, really.
She does. And she will be aware that there is some early falls going on here. So I think she'll pay close attention to the bottom of this route and have another look at this.
Yeah, she'll know that hasn't been an ISO all that long.
She has not. In fact, we're only less than 15 minutes into this final. Although we're down to Futaba Ito here. And yeah, she takes her time. You can see the clock ticking down. The athletes get 40 seconds to re-observe the route before they have to get on and climb it.
So this is Futaba's first lead final.
This year, or ever, or this year?
Yeah. That's
Wow,
what
I
can
didn't
see
know
from
that.
her results.
It's because for me, she's made so many semi-finals that in my head she's progressed at some point.
I
but
know.
Of course, she's had so many falls in semi-finals and just missed out.
I mean, most people fall in semifinals.
That's a good point, yeah. but she's almost but not quite into finals, I meant to
Yes,
say.
yeah. She's had, it looks like a few ninth places. So.
Yeah, and so
So
great
super
work.
exciting for her.
Yeah, this is a big moment and looking good as she bumps up with her left hand.
Yeah, well, we know that she and Miho would have read this together, so.
Well, Futaba sets herself up for this big move. That foot slipping around on the volume, though.
Oof.
Now gets the toe hook in. There is a jib back there, but she's holding onto the flatty. But this is a risky way, but she's got the height.
Oh.
But she's ignoring that crimp, which is there.
If your hands are strong enough, everything's a jug, Matt.
See, this is why not everything's a jug for me.
Same.
Everything's a tiny crimp for me.
A really bad sloper.
Yeah, it's all awful. Right, when she bumps out left onto the black volume. And then she'll do this drop knee, very similar to how Miho did it.
Nice. Let's see what she does here.
Yeah, well, she sticks the toes in. We know that Miho did mean to do that. Oh, no, just muscled her way out right.
This does seem like the way, though, if you can keep the high left heel with the right toe down on the yellow flatty, as you call it.
Do you not use that?
No, not in Canada.
Really? I love this. I always think climbing terminology is sort of like intercontinental, but apparently not. Well, she's through it, whatever it is.
Yeah,
But
without
this-
much trouble.
Yeah, easy from her. Oh, but that was close. That toe almost held her back from making the move.
Yeah.
And she's snatching at hold here a bit. Hits the tick mark, though, perfectly.
Oh.
Drops back down. She adjusted that left hand a bit higher. Again
Oh.
goes down.
I think she feels like she can't release in that her feet in that position, I think.
Oh, just
Oh,
3
she's-
fingers. Well, again, an early fall, and it's 22 on our score at the moment.
Huh, she looks pretty frustrated too. That
Wow, this section is really full on, isn't it?
I think once she hit that right hold, it's kind of an undercling. And if she was so stretched out here, look, every limb is at extension.
Yeah, and that right toe was there for a long, long time. I wonder if she needed to remove it earlier, perhaps, to make the stretch easier. But look at those scores. 22 plus is leading the way. It's Yutong Zhang. And then Futaba Ito, Miho Nanaka. Futaba at 22. A plus would have pushed her up into first place, but wasn't to be. And Manuel Healy with the lowest fall of the low falls. Well, Lana, we're halfway through. I've barely blinked. It's 20 minutes in. I've only had one sip of water so far because things are moving quickly.
I've had none.
Well, next up is Jessie Pilz, Zhang Kim, Natsuki Tani, and Ai Mori. And it is hot and humid here in the stadium where we are in our commentary box. Alana is currently fanning herself and fanning me very nicely because it is warm.
Very. Somebody gave me this fan as a gift when
It's
I
a
was
beautiful
down there.
fan. It's got a panda on it. It's
It's-
handmade, limited edition.
Yeah, it's very cute. So I don't even know the person's name, so thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, the Chinese crowd of supporters have been amazing this week. And they're just loving the return of IFSC climbing.
Yeah.
All right, Jessie comes out. She's got better and better as the season progresses. She has an Olympic ticket already.
Yeah, and it's all just for fun. Well, for the overall title, but for fun now for her.
Yeah, I mean, I asked her this question, and I am genuinely, I appreciate the athlete's job as to climb, right? But if I'd had the season that Jessie did and finished it in Bern, I don't think I would continue to carry on to this. I wouldn't necessarily have come to China.
Yeah.
But Jessie looked at me like I was mad when I asked her this. And she was like, well, of course. Like, I want to finish the season. I want to win the overall. And, it just shows how dedicated she is to climbing. She just wants to be out there all the time.
Yeah, she really loves competition climbing. I asked her that same question in Koper because right after the World Championships, she did Arco Rock Masters and then Koper. And here she's barely had time to take a breather after winning her Olympic ticket. But she said there was also a lot of relief after winning the Olympic ticket. She can relax now.
Yeah, all the pressure's gone, hasn't it? I mean, that would have been her goal, and it's achieved. So now she gets to focus on training for the rest of the season. Well, the crowd, quite silent. They know what this bottom section's all about by now. And you do at home as well. Look at those scores on the left of your screen. That is the where the athletes need to get to. They don't know that, remember. This is good work from Jessie. She gets the right foot up high and changes it down. Slaps onto that sloper, which is it's pretty good. She's got her fingers wrapped over the back of it, but it's not in cut particularly. But there is a bit of a ridge on there, so it's not a bad hold. And immediately into the crimp. Oh, the power as she swings over.
Yeah, she read that section really well. I love the little mushrooms on her shoes. They're so cute. For those of you who don't understand, Jessica Pilz, her last name Pilz means mushroom in German.
I wonder if she presumably has to draw them in every time she gets a new pair of shoes as well. So
Yeah, I
there's
guess
a
so.
whole series of different mushrooms out there.
Yeah.
Oh, she just hits that right slap.
Nice.
That was full commitment from Jessie.
Smart way to do it, too.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just that the sequence where if you overthink it, you burn out.
Yeah.
But she's trying to find the sweet spot on that flat hold. Wraps the right hand over.
Keeping a lot of tension.
She's looking the best of the women to get this far, for me anyway, so far.
Yeah, she committed quite quickly through that section down where her feet are right now.
And that was a nice swap of the toes. But that right foot doing what Futabaz did and almost catching her.
Yeah, I wonder if it's either easier to release the toe before doing this move up or... Oh, no, just...
Well, this is good work from Jessie Pilz.
Keep
She's
the
in
tension.
second. That will move her into first.
Nice.
And hey, we wanted separation. Well, we have got that now. 23, 22 plus, and 22. It's not a lot of separation, but it's enough. She moves those feet over now. A nasty pinch there in the middle after all that hard work. Now she's got to drop down here, and she's still ignoring the quick draw. And now she decides to clip it in. So that's the heel hook, and the athletes need to drop downwards. And that heel is really important for making this move.
Must be a little scary, too. It's a little dual text nubbin.
Yeah, when the setter told me to put a heel there, I sort of looked at them in amazement because I wouldn't want to do that. This is brilliant from Jessie. She slaps up. And always the thumb is on no texture. She's starting to peel.
But still climbing so decisively.
This is a real fight from Jessie.
Very impressive.
Missed the move to the undercling eventually, but that from Jessie Pilz is a statement. 31, way out in front with 3 to go.
Very, yeah.
Well, she's breathing heavily, and that's... I mean, that's the end of her season, isn't it? It must feel so good. I don't think she's doing anything else, so that's it.
She won't be allowed to go to Laval because she already has an Olympic ticket.
Knowing Jessie, she'll probably just turn up anyway, you know. Just practice the routes a little bit, sneak in. But no, she is done for her season, so congratulations to Jessie Pilz. We'll have to wait and see if that performance is a medal-winning
Yeah,
performance.
fantastic last climb to finish your season with.
Oh, there is our crowd. You can see them in the VIP seats. There's a couple in the white armchairs. Judges down by the red tables.
And we'll not only have to wait to see if she medals, but if she wins the overall.
Yeah, I mean, we both know our level of maths in the commentary box, but we will be told
Yes.
at some point if she's won it. And that ceremony will take place after the main medal ceremony for this event. So we get the podiums for China, and then we get the podiums for the overall. And of course, we crowned the overall winner for speed last night as well. Well, let's see some replay of the action so far. Here's Manon Healy. Struggled down low, never quite seemed comfortable, but to be fair to her, it turns out the bottom is very difficult. And this is where she fell. She moved out to the right, and only, as you'll see, had the fingertips and really low down on that hold.
Yeah, see, when she got her left heel up and she brought her right foot out, her body was so far to the left, it was hard to get all the way back to the right, to that black kind of side pulley undercling.
This is Teng Zhang. She dropped down, looking good, had the high point for quite a while. Very stretched out there.
Yeah.
And then Miho Nanaka, more confident through the bottom, committing to those physical sequences. And then this move, definitely not planned.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few different ways to go through that move. Very cool.
Yeah, it's one of those hero moves. You know, when you, if you go and try that move in the gym and you pull it off, you feel great. Like, you feel like a sort of comp climber, you know. And Miho did it to perfection. Futaba Ito launched upwards towards that slopey hold. But it was the toe eventually that seemed to get a bit stuck for her in the next sequence coming up. There it is.
She just couldn't kind of hold this undercling well enough to do much because she sort of went up to it, went back down, went up to it, went back down.
Zhang Kim also runs on. That's what you need. Is it a flip flop? It is full flip flop.
Yeah.
See, you can't teach style, and Zhang Kim has it in spades. Pink shoes, black flip flops. I'm impressed. I need to add that to my wardrobe. And I was told by Tobias, who commentated the lead semi-finals, that she was actually born in Brazil, apparently. He's Brazilian, a Brazilian athlete. I know, I did not know this. Zhang Kim apparently was born in Brazil, but obviously is Korean.
Huh.
Which I just thought was a great little factoid.
I had no idea.
No.
That is a great little factoid.
Yeah. Tobias, who is Brazilian, really wanted to point that out. I think he's been holding that fact for a while until he made it to the commentary box. And he's like, right, now is the moment. Also, that is a cool chalk bag from Zhang Kim as well. All right, well, she's feeling around here, trying to find the jib. She gets it, matches it. Up into the underclink. Zhang consistently making semi-finals and finals this year. It's been really good watching her.
And watching her win her first World Cup since having her baby.
It's just crazy, that, isn't it? Like, to come back anyway when she'd retired, had a child, then to win is just like, just a fairy tale.
Very unfortunate circumstances, I guess, with her teammate Chaeyoon skipping a clip.
Yes. Yeah, and that Chamonix World Cup.
Yeah, but she climbed spectacularly.
She did. And I think, yeah, you sometimes need a bit of luck. Right, up with the left hand. Gets the right foot in. This is good so far from her. This move always scares me a bit. She hits the flat hold, goes to the crimp, changes. We know how many different ways.
Whew. Looked like she was too stretched out when she grabbed the crimp. Oh, I like this cross under.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Allows her to not get so stretched out because we know she's a bit shorter than all the other competitors.
Yeah, I did specifically ask that question because there is a reachy move up high, but wingspans have been measured, so it's possible for everyone. Zhang Kim is really trying hard here. Up with the left hand. Now this is a big move, but she hits it with confidence.
Very strong. I think that people getting their left heel up helped keep them into the wall, but made the next move out to the right quite large.
Yeah, a different method from her. She's made it work well. And now she wraps a heel in, shaking out as she cups that ledge-like feature. I love the precision to route setting sometimes. You know, that putting that blocker in, you know, just adjusting an already hold. And, you know, they've got stacked volumes, blockers. It's good. Oh, and she's low and she falls.
Oh, just barely doesn't go far enough to get that.
Yeah, she was low on the tick mark, and you could see the shot caught just the last digits of her fingers catch it. But it wasn't good enough. Wow, what a brutal round for the women. So there's the tick mark, which you can then adjust into it, of course, but she was super low.
So her toe caught her and pulled her back. I think she wasn't quite tall enough to catch that with the toe in.
Yeah, we almost saw it happen to Futaba.
Yeah.
That was the worst I've seen anyway, and it definitely happened to Zhang then.
Well, I think this was the worst.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So she was the worst to get caught by it.
Oh.
Wow, this is a really tensed beginning to our evening here.
Yeah.
You can't look away. And do go and let us know what you think on the IFSC's Instagram pages, of course, and that photographer Dimitri is working hard behind the scenes to bring you all of the action from the last couple of days. There's some lovely shots up there. And as I mentioned earlier, the highlight shows, that's up too. So if you're not watching the broadcast, then you can go and see a summary of how the athletes did to get to this stage, and that is up on YouTube, free to watch. So go and have a little look. Well, we're reaching the end of this competition for the women, certainly.
Yeah, it went so fast.
Didn't it? Just Natsuki Tani, who's walking out now, and Ai Mori to go. So 2 more Japanese athletes onto the stage. There is Natsuki Tani. And I think that her semi-final was one of the best rounds I've seen her climb, actually. She Just super confident with the move. Didn't have that hesitation that she sometimes has when she overthinks sequences. She just went for it in the semis. It was good to see.
Yeah, it's like a different style of climbing than I've seen her climb before.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, she's just 20 and moved from the junior circuit into the senior circuit. Hasn't had... This year she was in Copper-Briançon and Chamonix and Villars and Innsbruck, so pretty packed. 5th place, her best results so far this year. And certainly leaving herself, in terms of qualifying positions, with the potential to get on the podium here. She's got the first clip in, makes the match, stretches out towards the right. She gets cracking on this first nerve-wracking sequence. Resting down low on the undercling. She makes the match now, brings that right hand up to the crimp, and she's, again, really stretched out here. She's going to have to jump for this crimp. It's a long way.
Whew. Good commitment, though.
Yeah, this is it. She's certainly been working on that weakness she has.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Has or had.
Had, exactly.
Yeah.
Think of the past. What a weaknesses. What did Alex Megos say? Like training his weakness leaving the body or something. Something like that. Classic Alex. Well, let's see if all that training will pay off, because she will have to do some launchy moves in a minute. Into the crimp, adjusting on it. Drops down really easily, actually, and then hits the flat hold with the right hand.
Kind of the same sequence that most other athletes have used, except for Jane Kim.
Yeah, it seems to be the way, doesn't it? Right, hits that right hand, and now no time to pause here. You've got to go through quickly. And that's a good angle to show just how flat it is, that hold.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Yeah, and you can't pinch it because it's, I'm pretty sure it's, is there no texture down where her thumb is? Maybe. Maybe not.
No, I think
it's not.
it's textured all the way.
But she's struggling again with this. She wanted the toe in almost.
Yeah, just like Manon, she's dropped the right foot off the yellow. Oh, okay, but makes it work. That looked hard.
It did, didn't it? Like, that is definitely a more difficult way to do that. But she's through it. She's okay. She's in 6th at the moment.
Moving on.
Yes. This is what I feel with this route at the moment. It's just like I'm ticking bits off in my head mentally.
Yeah.
Well, look, the women always talk about wanting hard routes. This is definitely one of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
No one near a top yet. Jessie Pilz leading the way with 31 plus. That is our current winner. Well, Natsuki Tani is shaking out, looking pretty comfortable at the moment. There's the heel locked in. We don't have a clock on screen, but we will try to let you know if time becomes an issue. She does keep looking at the clock. She's not. Now she's on the jib.
Ooh, this is smart, I think. She looks the most comfortable through this section.
Yeah, it's like a different climb at the moment, and she's finding the rests as well. Right, she bumps her way up these big volumes. Hits the next jib, and she's approaching. Well, she's in 2nd now, but a bit of climbing to go before she gets to Jess's point.
Looks very in control, though.
Could you hear the crowd then? She cut loose. She hit that clip, and she makes it a lot earlier than Jessie did. Jessie waited until she had the heel in before making the clip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but she fumbled this.
Yeah, the long draws here, they're very long.
And why does that make it hard to clip?
When they're the longer they are, the more they swing around and twist. So when you go to grab them, they're not always in the right position. And it's harder to grab them in midair when they're longer and swinging around.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because they put them in to try to prevent rope drag, it would be worse. But yeah, you're right. Oh, look at this drop knee. She's slipped. Saved it just. But that will have cost her some energy there.
She has not seen this heel hook, heel first method.
Oh, you're right. She's completely ignoring it at the moment. It's out there, but she's in an awkward position to now get the right heel on.
Yeah. And she's really trying to commit to that drop knee. Oh, getting a little tangled up too.
Now, what's worrying for Aimori fans is I and Natsuki tend to read routes together, and if Natsuki didn't read it, maybe I didn't see it either, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'm overhyping that moment, but...
Yeah.
Natsuki spinning down. Okay, well, only one woman can make an impression now on this podium, and it is going to be Aimori, who will climb for the last time on a World Cup. I can't believe it's over, Alana. Like the World Cup season.
And Jessie just won the overall title.
She's definitely got it. There we go.
Got it. Actually, before Natsuki climbed, but I didn't get the math done quite fast enough.
You're definitely excused. I didn't even try to do the math, don't worry. Well, congratulations to Jessie then. That will be confirmed at the end of the comp. Oh, yes, Pan Am's want to talk to you. So, obviously, that's your focus now.
Yes.
Excited to get out there and get stuck into it?
Oh, super excited. I love bouldering, so I'm very excited to be back in a boulder comp.
Has it been hard? 'Cause we've had a while, since boulder was a feature. I mean, well, Burn, obviously, you had to compete then. But so you've been kind of splitting your training between lead and boulder?
I kind of always do. Yeah.
That will come up soon. That will be broadcasted. And if you're an Alana Yip fan, which, let's be honest, who isn't, even though we love her in the commentary box, please cheer for Alana. Aimori walks on.
I have faith that she'll make it through that section and make an adjustment where Natsuki fell on the fly.
Okay. Let's see. Aimori, as has happened so often this season, is the last climber who can really make an impression here. She lost to Yanya in copper, which was Yanya's revenge. And I say revenge because it's exactly how Yanya phrased it. So it was a nice rivalry between the two of them. But no Yanya here, so it's all eyes on Aimori. But we've seen her slip before. It's definitely not in the bag. And as we know with this route, it's a nail biter. She has the thumb on that tick mark into the underclink. Jessie Pilz guaranteed a silver. Natsuki guaranteed a medal as well. Watching eyes spread out on those holds. That left foot. This is a big jump for her, but she makes it. Oh. It's more tricky than it seems, that one, because you have to kind of loop into it. It's not like a straight up jump because the volume pushes you backwards a bit, especially with the angle change as well.
Yeah, and I think for the shorter climbers, not being able to get the right thumb on, it makes it more difficult.
Yeah, well, she's safely through that first moment. You can breathe if you're ticking it off mentally in your head like I am. One section done here. Oh, but only two fingers. Well, she had to commit to that. I think she latched it and lost a foot, so decided to swing.
Yeah. Sometimes a forced commitment.
It works.
Yeah, it works, yeah.
That drop knee is great as well. Like the side of a foot pressed in. See, swings over. Looking good so far. Easy on that move.
Yeah, reads that really nicely. But does it completely different than Natsuki did. Natsuki had the high left heel drop the right foot.
So yeah, maybe they didn't read it together, which is good for that drop move section. She has the heel in. The best part of that hold with that right hand wrapped over. I said Tobias earlier. I didn't mean Tobias with my Brazilian co-commentator. I meant Felipe. Sorry about that, Felipe. I've had too many names in my head this last week.
Oh yeah, okay. I was kind of wondering. I was like, I don't think I've met a
I was
Brazilian Tobias.
Complete rubbish. Aimori has, she's bumping that hand up. Good footwork from her though. She flicks back right and left.
Nice compression climbing from her.
Yeah, it's... Oh, she does that swing that gets the crowd going. Drops down. Now, this is the move that got Natsuki Tani. Yeah, exactly. It's that. I mean, you just sucked in your breath. I can barely watch this. I'm squinting at the screen. Has the right hand in. Adjusts the feet.
Oh.
Will she see the heel? There it is. She
Yeah.
is. Yes, good. Well, she lost the heel at the moment, dropped it down, then changes it to a toe, slaps up. And she's on 28, approaching Jess's high point now. Big swing from Aomori.
She's not looking that tired yet.
Not yet. She had a quick pull of the rope, changed her mind, went a bit higher.
And there she goes, climbed into a gold medal position.
Well, she's done it quite a few times, hasn't she, already? But she's once again on the top spot. And now she's got to get involved with the head wall. And the head wall, short but brutal. And some small holds coming up for Aomori. Oh, just the strength that requires to be that stretched out and lose your feet. Whew.
Oh.
Misses the crimp, but it doesn't matter because Aomori wins with 36. Above Jess's 31 plus, who's in silver, but takes the overall title, and that's Tsukitani 26 plus. She'll be on the podium too. Well, Alana, it was a slow burner of a route. We started off with early falls. It was nerve-wracking, but actually that turned into a pretty good final, I think.
It did, yeah. There was some good separation, good differences in how people climbed it. I do think it was fairly complex through that black compression-y section that a bunch of climbers misread.
Yeah, and I think maybe conditions had something to do with it. It certainly wasn't a perfect round, but we got, as you said, the separation we wanted and a clear winner. So Aomori takes that victory. Congratulations to her. And yeah, things slowed down at the end as we had our last couple of athletes climbing higher. But now, as the ropes pulled through and the coaches move across the arena, as you can see, in a minute we will turn our attention to the men's route. And the men's route, I mean, we talk about complex sequences. The men is just, it's full of them. There's cross-throughs and toe hooks and heel hooks, and it's an never-ending sequence of moves, this one.
Yeah, it definitely looks hard to read in that orange middle section.
Yeah, that for me was the complicated. It's the bit where the route setter started shining lasers at the wall, and like sort of like my vision blurred a little bit as I tried to keep up with him, because it is full on through there. But down low, there's this very interesting easy jump to start with just to get onto the wall, but then no foot, a gaston outright, you bring the left foot up, and then you continue towards the clip for quite a long way with no feet. Or heels anyway, no low feet.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see a replay. This was Jessie down low. Hit the sloper powerfully. Those are the mushrooms.
On her shoes.
On her shoes, yes. Yeah, she's not carrying mushrooms up. Makes the bump to the crimp up high. And then this is where we were losing Jessie. Really starting to fight. Those shoulders standing out.
That was some good try hard, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Jess's final route. Zhang Kim. Down low, precise as she always is. And then wrap those black volumes. And this toe really caused us some issues. Yeah, it held her back, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if she was just a tad too short, or maybe she just needed to go a little bit harder. I think her hips were sagging a little bit.
She'd really hooked it, like she wasn't, she didn't bring the toe to the edge of the volume. She was quite deep into it. I think she just needed to adjust it a little bit. But this is where Natsuki made the route reading error. She wanted to almost match that hold, needed a heel in. Luckily, Aomori saw it differently, and we'll see in a sec how she got through that. That was the bottom jump, which was a bit further for her. The cut loose that made the audience gasp. Well, the flower ceremony is being announced there. There is Aomori. And Alana's gone down for the interviews now to go and speak to Aomori. But Jessie Pilz, congratulations to her. Great work, and the stage will be cleared. I think we wait for our interviews here. Well, the women's competition done. It was a quick one, brutal down low. We saw lots of early falls, and it does set things up in quite a nerve-wracking way for the men's final later on, because the men's, as the setters told me, is significantly harder than the men's semi-final. So we'll have to wait and see, because it is a bit worrying, that one, if it is significantly harder. The women's certainly having to battle down low, but there's a strong men's field, so we'll have to wait and see how they deal with that. The interview is being set up right now. We can see the camera there. Alana's down at the front. And we're just waiting for Aimori. Well, as we wait for a little pause here, there is Aimori.
Hi, congratulations. How did that route feel?
It's very hard for me, and before climb, I'm very nervous because it's difficult to overcome pressure.
Yeah, you climbed it beautifully. It was very smooth, but it looked. Did you have to fight hard on it?
Some very risky and dynamic, so I'm not good at that move, but I think I can do it toward myself.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks, Alana.
Well, thank you to Aimori. And we will now have a little look at the men's start list in a couple of seconds. And there it is. So the men's start list. Yoshiki Ogata will lead things off. Shion Omata, Nicholas Colan, Ao Yurikuza up next after that. And then Sasha Lehmann, Yu Chang Song, Taisai Homa, and Sorato Anraku make up our 8 male athletes through to the final. Sorato Anraku and Taisai Hama looking in impressive form as they cruise through the semi-final route. Great to see Sasha Lehmann back in a final. Excited to see him climb. And then Shion Omata as well. Super, super impressed from him. So that's what we have to come. And that is the route you can see in the background. Green holds to start with. Big physical move, especially on those tubes. And then slopers as we move over towards the right. And then the pink section. That's the complicated part of the route. And then after that, into the blues to finish things off. Well, as the light show starts here, Alana Yip is joining me back in the commentary box. So, Alana, how was I there at the stage? What feeling did you get from her?
She was pretty happy as I shows. She said that she was pretty nervous. It was a pretty hard route, and there were a lot of dynamic moves, which she said she's not very good at, but she told herself she could do these ones. So.
It's good. I mean, yeah, the dynamic moves, it's been discussed a lot with Aimori, and we watched her in Boulder round, especially in Innsbruck, where she struggled on some moves like that. So it's good that she knows it's a weakness, and I presume she's working on that. And it's actually good to see her win on a dynamic, climb.
For sure.
All right, well, the men are being introduced. Yoshiyuki Ogata is out, looking pretty chilled as he walks over onto the stage.
Wow, what happened to his shorts? He's
yeah.
absolutely covered in chalk.
It's that thing when you deep water solo, you put it on your thigh and then you hit it as you go up. He's doing that. It's the new method. Who needs a chalk bag?
Yeah.
Well, there is Shion Omata coming out onto the stage for the men. And then representing Belgium, Nicolas Collin, his first finals. So great to have him up here on the top spot. He hasn't had the best of season in terms of lead. Last result, he was 30th, so a real upgrade for him. Ao Yurikuza, after that, jogs his way on. Says hello to the crowd. He's looking nervous too. And then Sasha Lehmann with a big, big smile on his face. He walks out. Sasha's been in a great mood all week. One of the great things about China that I've really enjoyed is everyone stays in the same hotel, and it allows me this wonderful insight into what all the athletes are sort of thinking and doing. I can spy on them from the top of my hotel room. It's great. Yoon Jung-sung comes on from Korea. That young man has a huge future ahead of him. Just 16, part of an ever-developing and growing Korean squad. And then Taisei Homa, looking... I love the differences in these athletes as they walk out. Taisei looking like he's sort of... Well, I think he's looking nervous, but... And Sorato Anraku, another 16-year-old. Already our overall boulder and lead champion. The favourite on paper for tonight. Can he take another gold medal this year? He won in the last comp in copper. He won in Briançon. Second in Bern for the lead. So certainly the one to beat here tonight.
Yeah, quite a few Japanese in this final. Not as many as Briançon, though. There was 7 of the 8, I believe, in Briançon were Japanese in the final, men's final.
Yeah, it seems like every year they seem to step things up in terms of like getting more and more athletes through. But this year it's just been ridiculous. They've got to start limiting that squad, like handicaps for the Japanese team. Well, that's the beginning of the route. That's the jump and then the Gaston move, and you move over towards the first quick draw. Big physical moves, including a bit of a jump over to the left of the lower sausage-like feature. And then on to the green hold. There's a hidden undercling jib, which will be clear on your camera, but it's hard to see on that shot. And then this, look at that. It's just dotted with holds. I mean, it looks like you can climb it in any direction.
It also looks very hard, like the middle of the women's route, and very compression-y. I think there's going to be a lot of heel hooks, a lot of moving your feet left to right.
Yeah, and then finally the top. I mean, you climbed on this wall. What's it? Because it's about 45 degrees overhanging. Do you really feel that steepness when you're out there on it?
Yes. It's deceptively feels quite steep. I think usually the walls are maybe 35. So 45 feels surprisingly different. And I think because it's such a long overhanging section, it makes it feel, it's more tiring.
Yeah, because I stood underneath it for the first time. Because whenever I walk into a stadium, I stand back, I look at everything, I take it in. At some point, I walk towards the wall, and when I walked towards this one and looked up, my head kept on going, like craning its way backwards. And it's just such a long section. And I have seen this change because it felt like the qualifiers were more endurance-based through there, whereas the finals, it seems very, very bouldery.
Yes.
Which is a change. We're waiting for the men. The judge just put his thumbs up down at the front, so I think he's signalling he's ready. And the final 8 athletes of the 23 season will come out.
Crazy.
It's mad. I don't want it to end. I really don't.
No,
it's like it's
me
been
either.
No, it's been our whole lives since like April. It feels like we haven't stopped being on the road. Now it's gone.
I mean, it's been my whole life for like 7 years.
It's true.
Yeah. This is the last World Cup.
Yeah, we had, if you don't know, Alana had a very emotional goodbye during Innsbruck. But you haven't finished competing yet, but you are nearing I've almost said twilight years of your career, which sounds awful. I don't mean that at all. But you know what I mean? It's the end.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah, I've got probably 4, let's say we hope 5 comps left if I make Paris. Yeah.
Of course you will. So 5 comps left. Alana will be moving on to other things at some point, and I hope for one she grabs a mic, because I've enjoyed having her throughout the season. Right, Yoshiyuki gets going here. Nice and quick from him. He'll love the bottom of this route.
Yeah.
And he does. Look at that. Just, it's like a V1 in the gym. And now he starts this laybacky-like feature. Or layback, I don't know why.
It's a bit more exciting looking start than the women's.
It is, isn't it? It's less slow and steady and more just go for it.
Yeah. The women's was so scary to watch. I just didn't want anybody to fall there.
No, initially the set said that was the easy bit, so. Well, Yoshiyuki, though, is onto this, and this is a long move. Hits the intermediate. There's a jib to be had, which he hits there, and then probably will need to get a toe in on the right. And there he is, stretched out. And lots of options to adjust the hands here on these features. Hits the slope, and then underneath here there's a jib underneath in the shadows of that green hold, which he's not using, which is interesting, because there he goes into it. This is a fast start from Yoshiyuki Yata. He hasn't really paused yet.
He's quite a fast lead climber. I think oftentimes you see that style from people who are primarily or boulders first, because they feel like they don't have as much pure endurance. They're more strength-based, so the faster they go, the less time they have to spend on the wall.
Yeah, and he's certainly spending as little time as possible as he starts going over. Swings, gets the toe in underneath. And this is where things ramp up in terms of technical difficulty. He gets the clip in. He's on the jib. He's got the pinch in underneath. Slaps up high into the pinch.
Oh.
I love how many times he tried to get a foot on then and then just decided to jump. It's like, nope. But another big move required. Swinging over, hits the foot. And there's another toe hook beckoning where his left knee is.
Oof. Yeah, that's a far position to clip from.
Oh, fire. It looked like a dry fire. But, I mean, we didn't quite get the wide, so I don't know if he was jumping when the hand fired off. Hopefully we'll get a replay of that.
Yeah, I think he was.
Because he tried to clip, went for the jump. No, the left just exploded off. Oh, Yoshiyuki, that was such a different pace from the women's, where like I sort of felt my shoulders going up towards my ears as I got more and more tense, whereas this men's I could relax as it flowed through. Can I ask you something? Are the ropes thinner here in Wujiang? Because I've never seen athletes struggle so much untying them. I wondered if they used a thinner rope or something that was locking the knot up.
Maybe.
I don't know in the qualies whether you had a similar thing. It seems like every athlete.
They were locking up, yeah.
Okay. So that was for my own personal geekiness there. It's something that in this comp it seems to happen a lot at.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me in the moment, but that would make sense.
Okay. Wow, that doesn't happen often. I made a comment that makes sense. That's our last World Cup. I finally got it right.
Nailed it, just in time for the off-season.
Exactly, thank goodness. Yeah, well, we keep saying last World Cup, but of course remember there are lots of climbing to go.
Yeah, all the continental qualifiers, which will be very intense because there'll be Olympic tickets on the line.
And they're big events. I mean, the Pan Ams is a multi-sport event.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I love it when climbing gets put in with other sports, and the other sports get to come and see our sport and realise how good our sport is. Showing off to the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm excited to hopefully get to see some other sports at the Pan Am Games.
Yeah.
It's a big event. Something like 10,000 athletes.
Wow, that's cool.
I think.
I mean, I hope you don't see any. I hope you're in a hotel room focusing on the finals, doing nothing, in some kind of like airtight chamber where you can regenerate blood cells. You need to put everything into this, Alana, right? I don't want to see you at any other event.
How about after?
After maybe,
okay.
But I mean only after the finals after.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. All right, Shiona Madsen. This is me giving advice.
Don't worry, I won't compromise my own
Thank you, yeah.
performance.
You needed to be told. Shiona Mata is quickly through the bottom of this route into the laybacks as he goes towards the first of the block crimps, and he, as Yoshiyuki did, just very positive and quick through here. Gets that long draw in. That's the crimp he has with his left. Does a double adjustment of the right hand. Gets a toe locked in. He slaps up. Now, Yoshiyuki initially didn't use that undercling. It's really, I don't quite, it's more of a crimp really, but it's really important to do the move. There it is. That's a good shot of it. Hits it with
it's
the
very
right.
hidden, for the camera at least.
Yeah, exactly. And it will get more visible as more chalk hits it, and he's obviously seen it, but Yoshiyuki for a moment looked like he wasn't going to use it, but Shionamata straight onto it. Onto the jib where that tick mark is.
Bit of a dynamic move here. Crowd appreciating that.
Yeah, they're reacting to every jump like that, or more dynamic move like that. All right, he's got the heel in underneath, stretches out, cuts loose, and tick-tocks his way over into the toe hook. All right, he hits the pinch. He dances that left foot over to make the match. High, high feet here.
Oh, that little shake as he went there. Really quick little one.
Yeah, just trying to get rid of a bit of pump as he goes. He slowed things down a little here. I asked the setters if they thought anyone could match this, and they said no, and Shion immediately matched it, so he's got super strong fingers. Pulls up the rope, makes a clip, approaching Yoshiyuki's high point.
He's looking a lot more comfortable than Yoshiyuki.
Yeah, a bit less snatchy at some of the holds. And this is where Yoshiyuki fired off that left hand, so keep an eye on that if you're watching.
Oh, still a tough move.
It is, isn't it? And he's still got to keep that left in. My eyes are fixed on it now. He removes it. Very stretched out, but looking okay here. Can't see if he got that clip in. No, he didn't, so he tried it. Over towards the right, standing on those jibs, and full slapping left. And
Gets the plus.
Yes, does get the plus. That's 30 plus, we think. And it is certainly one of the crux of this route, this move. So let's watch it again. So he dropped the left down, brought it through, and he was always slightly going back there.
Oh, there's so much tension that he had to hold there, even just to do what he did, like release the heel and try to step the right or the left foot through.
That's a lot, isn't it?
My abs are tired just watching that.
Well, he tries to undo that knot. I'm going to start commentating the knots now. It's actually a good, clean untie from him. He leaves towards the left.
Yeah, we should get that stat. What's the rope diameter at every comp?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to be bringing out the tape measure. I don't want it to become my job.
They usually have a label on them.
That's a very good point, yeah. I love how calmly you said that. Matt, you are a climber, right? You have held a rope before.
Well, it could have come off a spool. It probably did come off a spool, and they did cut it. So maybe.
I'm looking now. I'm looking at the end of that rope. Is there a tag? Because if there's not, I'm justified. I can't see a tag, Alana.
Yeah, you might be right.
Right, there we go. Thank you. Next athlete out, Nicolas Collin. First finals. So he will just be taking all of this in here. Team Belgium having a great season.
Yeah. Hannes van Dyssen made a few finals this year.
Yeah, Slab King in Japan.
Yes, I do remember that.
And the dolphin celebration. God, we've got many great moments from this year. He is quickly flowing through this first sequence of moves. Every athlete making it look really good. And it's not as easy as they make it look that bottom. This is full commitment and flow from them all. So our high point is 30 plus from Shion Omata. Then Yoshiyuki Ogata and Nicholas Colin, our third athlete out. He's straight up to the jib, no intermediate needed for him. No jib on the left though, it's all the volume itself here. Gets that toe. And you heard the slap of the hand on the plastic there. These are skin-sapping volumes.
Yeah. Luckily, they're only doing one route today.
Yes, that's true, and they had a break from yesterday.
Yeah.
He hasn't used that undercling either.
No.
Now he does, but he made the clip off the sloper. I think then realised he needed it for this move. And he will start screaming in a minute as he does. I heard a little one come out then. He was brilliant in the semis. So he wraps that hand back over the top. Always really having to fight. Swings into that toe hook.
I like that swing into the toe hook move.
Yeah, it's another hero move, isn't it? When you feel amazing when you get it. Brings the foot under though. He is in a bit of trouble as he's shaking out. Oh, shaking, I mean. He's got the pinch in. Shakes out the left. Brings the left up again. I think, oh, a knee bar.
Oh, that's clever. Oh, but he's going to have to bump again right hand.
You can see what he wants to do, but that's going to make it harder, yeah. And he rubs his knee. Yeah, he would have ripped a bit of skin on that.
Yeah.
You could see the thinking, but it wasn't going to work, I don't think, doing it like that.
Yeah, I think the knee bar locked his hips in that position, so he couldn't then kind of move them upwards as he needed to get to the next hold. But he was clearly very tired there. I think he was out of gas.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's like an emergency knee bar. Yeah. He'll crack it in. Hopefully he gets something back, and then
yeah.
But it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And he's a bit of help with the knot, but he's untied it this time. Second time of asking. I will stop now with that.
Maybe we should start giving the athletes a grade on their
oh,
knot
don't you know I'll roll with this, so rein me in, please. You need to make me behave. Well, the belayer pulls the rope through. I like the white glove of the belayer as well. I'm noticing all these funny things at this competition, but the uniforms of the belayers are nice at this one. Mm-hmm. Nice is a terrible word, but they look smart. All right, well, the arch lights up for our next competitor out onto the stage. He looks up towards the lights. Aoyori Kuza from Japan. He's he's 21. 36th in copper, so not the best of his last World Cup. It's much better in Burma. He was 5th.
I think he won in Jakarta last year.
Yes, winning in Jakarta in 2022.
The last World Cup of last year.
Yeah, it was pretty much this time last year, wasn't it? End of September.
Yep. Yeah, it must have been.
All right, Al puts down the towel. Heavily chalked up hands there. He'll have liquid chalk underneath, powder chalk on top. And the setters, so the belayer's spotting him over there, gets the clip in. And then upgrades those hands, reaches up to the blocked crimp, but pretty easy work from him so far. That's our current leaderboard. Shion Omata in 30 plus, Yoshiyuki, and then we just saw him, Nicholas Colin on 23. That's a good shot of the jib where his fingers are nestled in the shadows of the wall.
Oh, different. Ooh. That worked well.
Yeah, he went left first, and then put the right up.
Kind of avoided one slappy move, which was nice.
Now this is different. So he uses the crimp underneath to cross through with the left. It's going to be hard to unlock it.
He does have to kind of do a little clock move and get left hand there instead.
And he drags, you can see the mark left by his heel in the chalk there on the sloper. All right, so at 17th, he's approaching third position. He's got a couple of hard moves. This is the swing into the toe hook coming up. There it is, first time, swings it in. $20 now. This is the two volumes coming up where Nicholas had the knee bar between those two.
Looking pretty relaxed here. And it's interesting to see him look like he's exploring a little bit, but he never seems to panic. If he... oh, no.
Oh, but that left hand, yeah, he didn't have the distance on it. Well, I don't know if he was falling when he reached, but he was away from that. But it has put him up into a podium position. Let's see this again.
Oh.
The foot seemed to bobble out.
Yeah, it seemed like his left foot kind of bobbled off the hold. That was the move where we saw Yoshiyuki kind of look to get his foot up a few times and then just jumped. And maybe that's the better method to get through that. Yeah,
you're right. He didn't have any feet really through there. He just went for it. Well, that's the difference. Well, we've had 4 athletes now. 4 to go. Sasha Lehmann, Yuchen Song, Taisei Homa, and Sorato Anraku coming up. The last 4 athletes of this final. The audience have been enjoying it. Yeah, there's a DJ who tends to play in between. Let's watch some replays of this. This was Yoshiyuki who climbed. I mean, they've all climbed quickly, but he climbed the quickest of all. Hit the sloper, made that jump later on. Couldn't make the clip, dropped it, went for the plus, and the left hand firing off. I think more of a dry fire than a fall, really.
I don't know. I think he was tired, but...
yeah. It's funny you say that because I think sometimes you can excuse dry fire, not excuse it, but you think, oh, it's just slip. But often it happens when you haven't quite got enough pressure through the hand,
yes,
or
because you're tired.
Because you're tired,
your hands are opening.
So it's not just a slip; it's a slip for a reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is just firing off the hold, and that is a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
This was Nicholas. He got tired down low, tried to get a knee bar in up high. That was the knee, but he was in the wrong position. Hips locked in, couldn't make the bump up with the right hand. Although he did touch it, he made it close. Look, a big scrape of his knee immediately from that.
Emergency knee bar. I like that phrase, and I'm going to use it from now on.
Please do. As long as you send me royalties every time, it's fine. This is out as he climbed through the crimps, through the jibs. But watch that left foot. It's just banging around, and then he was pressing into it, just pinged off. But I don't know if he had the reach, even if it hadn't.
I think he would have been able to, but
you reckon he would have had it? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, Sasha Lehmann is introduced to the crowd, and a wink to someone in the audience, which was cool. Sasha reminds himself of the sequences to come. Quite a while since the men saw this route.
Yeah, and they're allowed 40 seconds on the ground to take a look at it.
Yeah, that happened during the before the broadcast started. Sasha is through. Similar kind of style, maybe slightly less quick, slightly less bouncy through there, but doing exactly what he needs, and he rests before committing to this next big green volume.
I can hear Will, the Swiss coach.
Yeah, I think wherever the microphone is, it's near the coaches, because I keep hearing yells from them. Sasha crosses through, hits the jib, intermediate. Busts in the toe, make the clip from that position. Yeah, that's him there. Oh, a bit of a swing there, but he held himself in. Right, into the slopers now.
Wow, the double heel splits.
Sasha's good at those kind of moves, and he looks just outrageously relaxed in it as well.
Yeah, he's a very good lead climber, and because he's short, he's gotten very good at using his flexibility.
Well, look at that, he had them in and he bumped both hands on the slopers. And look, another high heel hook, and then he'll drag that heel down in a minute. He's aiming for that tick mark you can just see on the edge of your screen. That is the clipping position the setters thought the athletes would go for. Oh, and a grit of his teeth and a puff out of the cheeks as he gets it done.
He's working hard for this.
Yeah, he is. You could see him grimacing his way over. Come on, Sasha. Drops that toe in. Big bump with the right hand. Almost went too high before he dropped into the crimp. Oh, but he lost it there. Gets the feet back in, but you can feel Sasha working. You can see the effort. He's not on the podium yet. But now he will have a moment to shake out. Doesn't do that match we saw before.
But uses it just for a second to shake out.
Yeah, Sasha is having to fight here. Hits the right hand.
But doesn't get the thumb in. He definitely looked tired. He was fighting through that whole route.
He was, and with that, he's outside of the top 3, so no podium for Sasha here tonight. That was the first foot slip, which was a big one to hold. Sorry, the second foot slip. And it was a big one. Well, 3 to go before the end of this final. Taisei Hama and Sorato will be out last. Wujiang Song out next. Well, we wait for Wujiang, the 16-year-old, to enter the stage. Hasn't had that many World Cups on the board, only 23 really. Obviously, due to his age, he started competing, so to make it into a finals here is a good end to his season.
Yeah, looks promising for the future.
Yeah, and Alana, of course, you as you sort of wind things down climbing-wise, in terms of athletes' commission and stuff like that.
Yes.
We should say congratulations because
yeah.
you're through. You were voted into that.
Yes. Yeah, the results of the Athlete Commission election were released a little while ago, so I was elected along with myself, Campbell, Alex Kazanov, Jenya Kazbakova, Kyra Kondi.
That's some big hitter names
and
there.
Miho Nanaka.
Okay,
yeah.
wow.
I was like, I'm missing someone.
I am not arguing with that Athletes Commission. You guys like whatever you want. That is, there's such it is good because that's what you want in an Athletes Commission is really experienced people.
And people who have strong opinions and will fight for their opinions. So.
And I know you will do, so looking forward to seeing you in that role.
Thanks.
Wujiang is underway here. Starts to flow towards the right. Is there like acupuncture dots on his left arm there and his shoulder?
Oh, I missed
that. I don't know why I noticed that. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just mosquitoes, which are rampant here in China. Or maybe just me.
Yeah, I think you've been getting all of them. I haven't noticed a single mosquito.
They're everywhere. Wujiang's right foot slips a little, but he brings it back into action. Stands up underneath. He's doing lots of little movements, little adjustments.
Yeah, I was going to say. Ooh, I like that. Grab the clip to clip it into your own rope.
Yeah, you can do that. You can't pull on the draw, but you can grab it and do what he did. heel in for a second. He thought better. He's changed this here.
Oh, wow.
Oof.
That was bold.
Yeah, I mean, that crimp is a bit nasty to snatch into it like he did like that.
Yeah. He's climbing very committed here.
Yeah, I think he maybe just needs to find a position to breathe for a second, because it just seems a bit rushed perhaps at the moment.
Yeah, and it definitely steps up kind of here as into the orange holds.
Cuts loose for a sec, holds it out again.
Does not use that toe hook.
No, he isn't. Totally different method.
Yeah.
All right, out towards the crimp with the right hand. Gets that quick draw in. Well, this has been a fascinating run so far by him. Doing things very, very differently.
Oh, yeah, he's just going to match this guy.
Wow, you know what? It's working for him. He's in fourth at the moment.
Yeah.
Makes the move out left. Oh,
So that puts him into third.
that was spectacular.
Yeah. I did not think he was going to make it that far.
No, like, I think of efficiency. I don't think of that, what he just did.
Yes.
But it was great to watch.
Yeah, it was effective for him.
Yeah, and it worked. And he went a long, long way and exploded off that hold eventually.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the podium, so not guaranteed, of course, yet.
With 2 more climbers, yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll be worst case 5th place for him.
Yeah, good way to end a World Cup season. Yeah, the next season starts in April, I think. The full calendar hasn't been confirmed yet, but it will be soon. And, of course, next year we have the Olympic Qualifier Series as well as the Olympics. So, just endless climbing, basically. You do get a bit of a break from mid-December to April where you can just recharge. Because I know some people, I mean, we've had a
You'll
long
have your
season.
weekends free again.
I don't know what to do with them. I don't know life outside of the IFSC, and I'm scared for it, to be honest. I said this to Stash the other day, and she just looked at me and was like, why don't you go training, Matt, and do some climbing? And it's sort of like, yeah, I can do that now.
Rocks?
Yes.
You can climb for yourself.
I know.
Yeah.
I just talk about everyone else instead. I'll go to the crag, and I'll just have to sit in a small box somewhere and speak into a stick or something. But
Where's Matt? Oh, he's commentating everybody at the crag again.
Don't tempt me. I would probably do that. But if you've been watching and following the World Cup Series, congratulations, because it has been a big series of events dotted throughout the world. We started in Japan months ago now, and we end up in China. Yeah, globe hopping all over the place. All right, Taisai Hama out next. Now, I'm pretty sure these two were completely drawn up to this point as well, because they drew in qualies, drew in semis. So if they draw here, time is going to be a factor. And we don't often see that. And
if we can base it on their climbing styles, you'd think that Sorato would have an edge there.
Yeah, Taisai is an endurance king, but he's not always the quickest. And talking of draws, if you want to go and watch a spectacular draw, there was a draw in the speed competition last week in Rome, which never happens, and bizarrely I saw it happen in 2 comps in a row. So if you want to see a really weird moment, then go and check that competition. Yeah, it happened in Bologna and then it happened in Rome. So I'm just hyping speed here because speed is amazing. And I will stand by speed forever. But right now, Taisai Hama comes out onto the stage, paying no attention to the audience, eyes just on that route.
As they should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I wasn't being disparaging. He should be focused up there. Right, so he just reaches the first jump and off he goes. And of course, as we said a few times before, Taisai coming back from a very nasty left ankle injury at the beginning of the season. Didn't even think he'd be competing early on. So
yeah, so great to see him back.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And it was a very nasty injury. So well done whoever physioed him through that one.
He might have even had surgery.
Yeah, I think he did. And I talked to him about it, whether he'd broken it or torn everything, and I wasn't actually quite clear, but it was certainly, yeah. And you can see the left ankle still strapped, but not as much as at the beginning. He's got the toe in. He's resting on that for a sec. Yeah, and although Taisai will know it will come down to time, he won't push the time on this. You know, it won't be his concern. He's not thinking, I need to climb the route quickly. He just want to climb it, and then everything else will figure itself out.
That only matters if they tie again, so better to just focus on getting as high as possible.
Yeah, no tops so far. No one even close. All right, Taisai into the undercling crimp thing. Aim for that tick mark out right. And Taisai into the orange holds. Oh, he's pressing. He's not using the toe initial. Oh, he's doing this very differently.
Oh, just the same as Yun Chan Song.
Yeah. Maybe similar heights make more sense. I don't know, but yeah, interesting. That is the left ankle we were talking about. You can see the tape on it. Right, bumps up, hits the pinch well with the right hand. Rotates the left knee downwards towards the ground. And Taisai really working hard as he hits the crimp, but this, and he's really wrapping that. It's a lot of pressure through that left hand, and he's gone a bit far. And actually, this was a danger clip, this, because it's a bit of a red herring. It draws you to the left. You've got to clip it early, and he hasn't done that.
I think same thing with Yoshiyuki.
Yeah. And it's something Seta said that, you know, you can't reverse it and you can't reach it. So if you misread that section, you're in trouble like he did.
Huh. I wonder why there's not a blue X there.
Well, I don't think it's a danger thing. It's more that just you just can't reach it. So, but perhaps you could reverse it. I'm not saying it was impossible, but it's very hard to go back into it. So it kind of draws you to the left too early. Yeah, sorry, that was my bad phrasing of that. I just mean it's a difficult move to reverse. Well, Taisai is done, and our final athlete of the evening is waiting in the wings, Sorato Anraku.
That was unfortunate for him to miss the clip, because I don't think he was done.
No, I don't think so. He had more to go. He can hang on forever, can Taisai. Well, we'll wait as the knot is undone for the penultimate time. Taisai will leave the stage, says goodbye. And now my eyes are fixed on that arch. I'm watching it.
Yeah, the last climber of the last World Cup of the year.
Don't. Don't do it.
How many times can we bring this up in this broadcast?
Oh, many. Someone needs to make a montage, for goodness sake. Why hasn't there been? Yeah, what a season it's been. Well, we'll be bringing you recaps, I'm sure, of all the good moments from the year at some point. But right now, look at those eyes from Sorato.
He's just peering out so he can take an extra little look at the route.
That was a great moment caught there.
Yes.
Sorato comes out. And I love spotting with Sorato when he gets tired, because I still can't spot it. He never seems to get tired, and every now and again he'll fall off, and he'll catch me unawares.
What?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, where did that come from? But then occasionally he'll just not get tired and carry on climbing forever. So it's he needs to give me a sign so I can start to heighten the tension a bit. So a thumbs up towards the camera would be great, Sorato, please. Right, he, as everyone has done, easy through the first bit. Shoulders working here as he turns his body towards the right. And Sorato reaches up onto the sausage thing, hits the intermediate, and will go towards that tick mark, hits it nicely, thumb right above the tick mark, fingers wrapped around the jib. Currently sitting at 8th on 11. He's aiming for 30 plus to knock Shionomata off the top spot Taisei Hama with that climb, although he missed the clip, he's still in second. Brings the heel in on the inside. Sorato moves his feet down. Now, I can't wait to see how he does in the next section. I kind of presumed the toe hook was mandatory until we watched Shion do that. So I mean,
yeah. Well, both of those two,
Yeah.
Yun Chang and Yun Chan
and Taisei, yeah.
yeah.
No, he does lock the toe in.
Oh, and rests with it too. It's the first time we've seen that.
Yes. There's a great rest in the semis as well. Some in the men's route. There's some interesting sort of heel toe cam rests and knee bars in there. Sorato looks like a starfish out there on the wall as he hangs in the spotlight. And do remember, if you're watching at home, this route, the setters told me, significantly harder than the semis, and we only saw 2 tops in semis. So if anyone manages to get close to this thing, it will be an amazing achievement. And Sorato, a few have done. He makes the match. Shakes out, gets it in this time. It's good resting from Sorato as well.
He looks very comfortable.
He just always does. I mean, that man is born to climb. It's just, it's so impressive watching him.
Yeah.
But suddenly the muscles start standing out and he only just got the fingertips on there. But he's in second place already.
And I think a plus off of this and he wins. There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh, Sorato takes another gold. I'd love to finish it, and he's near the head wall. Oh, he's onto the blues for the first time we get to see the blues.
Oh.
He drops back down again to try, presumably to try to rest or readjust. He is burning out here. You can tell, really fighting.
Oh.
Elbows come up. Nope, he's still going. I told you. Unreal from
Just
Sorato.
stuck to that sloper.
Sticky Sorato, it's his
Yeah.
nickname. He just holds on to these things. Well, one of potentially the hardest routes of the whole circuit, and Sorato goes midway through the head wall, floats back down to the ground.
And I think he knows.
Yes, he does. It's another gold. Well, the 16-year-old will go into next season as a firm favourite, and he didn't qualify in Bern, but I mean, the Asian qualifiers in Jakarta, it's hard to look beyond Sorato taking that at the moment.
Yes, and then with the Asian qualifier in Jakarta plus the OQS, I think it would be, I'm sure he'll qualify.
Yeah,
Let's
you would
just say
bet, but
that.
yeah, exactly.
He'll be in Paris.
Well, that's
Almost
confirmation.
certainly.
Sorato, Shion Omata, Taisei Hama, a lockout of the podium from Team Japan. Yoshiyuki Yata, Yun Chang Song, Ao Yurikuze, Sasha Lehmann, and Nicholas Colau. Right, Alana, we've got to say goodbye for the last time for the World Cups.
Yep.
We'll see in the future. Maybe I'll be in the Pan Ams, maybe I won't. But
Yeah.
best of luck for you for that. Hope it goes well.
Thank you.
And thank you for the whole season. You've been amazing.
Of course, it's been really fun.
See you soon, Alana.
See ya.
Well, Alana will head down to the front to interview Sorato. And we start to wind proceedings down here in the arena. Podiums to come, of course. Not only the individual podium, but the overall podium. And we know Jess is taking it already. And Sorato took it in copper. The athletes are gathered there in front of the box. That's where the flower ceremony will take place first of all, before it gets cleared for Alana to grab a mic and speak to Sorato. And you can see the podium being built in the background. Yeah, it's been good to return to China. It was my first time in China for the IFSC. We were, of course, a regular, and I think we will continue to be a regular here in China in the next couple of years, but we had quite a long break due to COVID, of course, and then there's travel restrictions making everything too difficult to commit to that. But we're back in China. Things now wind down for the season. Do go onto the IFSC website if you want to find out the schedule for the continental qualifiers. We've already done the European speed in Rome last weekend. It's been a packed September. Yeah, Ola Miroslav taking an Olympic medal, an Olympic place, even though she was knocked out. And do go and watch that interview. I mentioned it earlier, but it's in the highlights for the day one qualifying that we put out on YouTube the other day. This was Sasha Lehmann down low. Physical through those sequences. Had that toe locked in. Adjusting, but he had one too many foot pops, as you can see. That cost him dear. And he dropped that move up with the right hand. Wujiang really fighting down low. Did a different method, didn't put the toe in. Made a crazy match, and throughout the route, in fact, he did sequences that no one else was doing. May not be efficient, but it was brilliant to watch. Taisei Hama stretched out with that toe hook. Shoulder he moves over. He didn't stick that toe in. Bumped up with the right and then swung over with the right foot. But eventually, not clipping in the right place did cost him dear. We think he had more to give. And Sorato, well, what else can you say about this young man? He's had an incredible year. And there's big things to come from him, I am sure. Team Japan found a star in Sorato Anraku, and this year, that star potential was fulfilled. Came up with the shoulders, slapped out left finally, and dropped down to the ground. Well, there is Alana in the spotlight. I can just see her on our screen. Sorato's not quite there yet, so I think he's being called over there. No, he's back there. I can see him, so he's getting ready for his interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, IFSC Climbing World Cup Wujiang 2023. The men's final has come to an end, and now we will have a short.
Well, we're waiting for Sorato to come out.
Sorato, that was incredible. Congratulations. How do you feel?
I'm happy to win this title, Wujiang.
You also won the overall lead title, and what a season you've had. This is your first season competing on the World Cup. Did you ever expect at the beginning of the year that you would come out and win the titles?
I don't know.
You climbed so well this year. It's your first year, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Zhang in fourth with 22 plus. Sorato Anraku 39 plus. Shion Omata in second with 30 plus. Taisei Hummer after that 26 plus. Yoshiyuki Ogata 26 plus for him. After that, Yu Chung-sung, Ao Yurikuza as we come down the list. So congratulations to those athletes. A hard route for them. And the podiums now being prepared in the background. And the audience gathering down at the front of the stage, waiting for their heroes. And we joked at the beginning, but Alana, when I walked into the stadium, had a huge line of people getting autographs and as gifts being handed out. It's really lovely to see the Chinese supporters getting into this competition and supporting their heroes. And it's something that isn't unfamiliar on the World Cup circuit, but it's just nice to see whenever it happens. And I think that 4-year delay has made a big difference in everyone wanting the IFSC to come back. So, almost time for our podiums. We'll be back with you soon to keep you updated on the action. Well, we're waiting for our podiums now. The men are being gathered backstage, getting ready to go on. You can see everyone being organised throughout. So a couple of minutes before our first podium, and then we'll give away the overall as well to Jesse. Well, if you're sticking with us, we're waiting for the awarding ceremony, the podium for the men and women for tonight, and then the overall for Jessie Pilz, who we're pretty sure, according to our maths, has taken that. So that's what's following in a couple of minutes as we have our last podium of the year here in China.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the Wujiang World Cup 2023.
All right, well, here we go. Awarding ceremony time here in Wujiang. Bit of a pause where we got everything sorted, but we are underway now. And the winners and the podium finishers will have gathered and be waiting back there in that magic lit up arch that we've been talking about. A really cool feature of this stadium. Right, here we go. The music sounds. The athletes parade out. Ai Mori in the middle. Top spot for her.
The medals and flowers will be presented by President of the International Federation of Mountaineering Association.
So the athletes are ready, the dignitaries are there. Wonderful bouquets of flowers. I do like at every competition we have a sort of a different theme to the trophies, and the flowers here especially good. The athletes are being made to wait while the announcements are made here. Congratulations to Natsuki Tani, a great semi-final round for her and strong performance in the finals. And there is that bouquet of flowers. I told you, it's a good one, right? I'm not convinced they're real. They just seem a bit too perfect.
Representing Austria,
Plastic controversy. But they are beautiful.
Jessica Pilz.
And Jessie Pilz, silver medal for her and that overall. Brilliant. Big smile on her face. Trip to China, completely worth it. The Austrian athlete peaking in Bern, doing so well there, getting that Olympic place. Actually finishing things off here in China, and now she can go to that beach or wherever she chooses to rest and have a moment away from comp climbing, because all her goals for this season for sure will have been achieved. And finally, it's Ai Mori
Representing Japan.
will be on the top spot of the podium once more. That young star, her underground crusher, doesn't have Instagram. No one really knows. She's a bit mysterious, but that's part of what makes her so exciting and interesting to watch every time she pulls onto the wall. Ai Mori with gold, and we will now hear the national anthem of Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
Well, congratulations to the women. Our final podium of the year completed for women. Men's to come, of course. The athletes stand on the top spot. And the iPhones and cameras are out in force down at the bottom. There'll be a few selfies to sign after that. Jessie ducking down to get into the shot there. Well, next up will be the men's. We'll have a short reset, but it won't last long, so stick with us as we wait for the men. Just a little, oh, there's a foot there in the background as someone steps into shot. Everyone being held, waiting for the men's, which is coming up in a couple of seconds. And in fact, look, smooth as you like, it's almost time to go straight into that podium. Right, well, here we go. Final podium time before the overall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the Wujiang World Cup 2023.
女士们、先生们，2023国际攀联世界杯攀联
Wujiang 2023. It's good to hear those words, isn't it?
赛颁奖仪式现在开始。
Please welcome the medalists for the lead man.
有请获奖运动员、颁奖嘉宾入场。
But here come the men. And Sorato in the middle, leading the way. A Japanese lockout on the podium. First, second, and third to Team Japan.
The medals and flowers will be presented by
为运动员颁奖的是
event delegate of the International Federation of Sport Climbing,
国际攀岩联合会赛事代表
Mr. Fabrizio Minino, Director of Sports Climbing Department of the Chinese Mountaineering Association,
中国登山协会攀岩运动部主任毕国伟先生。
Right, here we go. Time for those medals.
representing Japan.
There is Taisei Hama with his medal. Proud moment for him coming back, getting multiple medals and wanting to finish off the season here. Mata Shion, Shionamata, stood in top spot for a long time. He had to settle for silver though after Sorato climbed and put any doubts to rest. One in Jakarta, silver here. I say Jakarta last year, not this year. Of course, just the speed round in Jakarta this year.
Medalist and the winner of Wujiang World Cup 2023, representing Japan.
获得金牌的是
Finally, Sorato once more will stand on the top. He'll get his gold. The perfect end to a pretty perfect season. Only he got that Olympic ticket in Berne, but I think perhaps a little bit. Well, perhaps it would have done him good just to have that moment where he had to reset, go away, train again, come back stronger. And as Alana said, you would not be betting against this man taking one of those tickets at some point in the next couple of months.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the president of Japan.
女士们、先生们，请起立，奏日本国歌。
Well, Sorato will have a huge smile on his face after that performance. And there is that big smile. Saw him beginning of the year in Hachiochi start to perform well. We had no idea how good he could get. Turns out he's one of the world's very, very best at just 16. Well, the athletes will leave the stage. And then we'll reset for the overall titles. And I think there's a selfie moment going on. There is a selfie moment going on. Yes, Sorato. Hopefully the crowd will respond. Yeah, the Austrians have got thumbs up there. Good work, guys. Well, they will leave the stage. We'll have another brief moment of pause before we move on to the overall winners. Well, here we go. The overall is announced. 2023 lead season done. And of course, that means we have our overall winner. The athletes compete for points throughout the series. Yanya was sitting on the top spot. Of course, she decided not to compete here, which is pretty understandable. It does mean that the door was left wide open. There is Yanya's replacement there, in fact. Jessie in the middle. She wanted to come here because of that overall. And then Vita Lucan taken third place. Well, the bronze medalist Vita Lucan, she won a World Cup in Briançon, over the moon after coming back from a knee injury. Vita Lucan, third best in the world in 23 for lead. And as always, as she does, she will build on that, move forward into next year, stronger than ever before. Silver medalist will be Yanya Gambret. Of course, Yanya not here. Coach is a replacement, that is not Yanya you're watching. He wanted to stand at the podium. I don't think he wanted to, but he has to apparently. So regardless, he will take that medal, the trophy, I mean, back to Yanya. I'm sure we'll be happy to take that silver. I see a very strange feeling to pick up the trophies on behalf of someone. But of course the coaches work equally hard behind the scenes, so he deserved to be there for sure. And finally Jessie Pilz, she came here with this overall in mind. She had it in her grip and she took full advantage. Enough points to secure that overall victory. Pretty good year for Jessie Pilz.
女士们、先生们，请起立，奏奥地利国歌。有请获奖运动员。
Well, well done to Yanya, Vita, and Jessie. Awesome from those three.
有请颁奖嘉宾。
Big smiles all round. It's a lot of work to take that overall win. Something that I don't think is talked about enough, in fact. Jessie will be by herself on the top. Oh no, Vita too. So the women lead the stage, and for the last time this evening we will reset for a podium. It's the men's turn for the overall. And then we will say goodbye to you for our World Cups, but of course, as we keep saying, more IFSC action, Pan Ams. Qualify in Laval, Jakarta, Oceania, Africa. Broadcast won't stop until about mid-December on various platforms. Sure, I won't be there for all of them. I'll be there for some of them, so you can continue listening to me call the action if that's your cup of tea. If it isn't, I'm very sorry, but it's that way for some of them. Time for the men, though. They're waiting back there somewhere. Sorato took this overall win in Copper. That's when it was confirmed, but of course we didn't give away the podium there. But it will be announced here. So, here we go. Well, not quite. Soon, the lights are dropping. Well, here we go. The music sounds. It's time for the athletes for the final time to walk out that overall title.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory serving for the lead overall climbing World Cup 2023.
女士们、先生们，2023国际攀岩世界杯攀岩赛男子、男女年度总冠军颁奖仪式现在开始。
Please welcome the medalists for the lead over men.
有请获奖运动员、颁奖嘉宾入场。
So the men are out, and Sorato, of course, will be standing in the middle there.
为运动员颁奖的是
Event delegate of the International Federation of Sport Climbing,
国际攀岩联合会赛事代表
Mr. Fabrizio Minido, Director of Urban Management Bureau of the High-Tech Industrial Development Zone,
横湖高新区城市管理局局长王春梦女士，
bronze medalist representing Japan,
获得年度第3名的是日本。
Honma Taisei,
Well, Taisei Hama takes the third position, third spot in the overall for 2023.
silver medalist representing Germany,
And the silver medalist,
Alexander Nagy,
Alex Megos, of course. Not here, he decided to miss this World Cup, but second place for him. Represented by a coach there, as usual.
gold medalist and winner of the lead overall climbing World Cup 2023, representing Japan.
And finally, he won tonight. He won the overall in copper, but it's celebrated here this evening. Sorato Anraku. Is there anything this man can't do? Another gold for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the anthem of Japan.
女士们、先生们，请起立，奏日本国歌。 有请获奖运动员合影留念。
Well, for a final time, we will get our photo opportunity. Congratulations to the athletes and Alex Megos, of course,
有请颁奖嘉宾
who
与获奖
didn't make it
运动
here.
员合影留念。
Coach standing in.
感谢颁奖嘉宾。
Thank you.
Well, thank you to the men and thank you to everyone. And thank you for watching the last couple of days of climbing here in Wujiang. It's been fun, speed and lead taking place here, and a brilliant way to end our season. Well, that's it for World Cups, but of course we will return for the continental qualifiers for the Olympics in the next couple of weeks. We're not going anywhere here at the IFSC, bringing you the best athletes in the world against the best walls in the world. My name is Matt Groom. Thank you to Alana Yip for joining me, and I will see you very soon.
We appreciate your attendance and would like to remind you to collect
来来来